Ekiti Airport open for private jet landing January, says Oyebanji. 50% salary cut, reps to return 704 million naira to Tinubu. Edo traders will get interest-free loan from January. That's according to Okpebolo. Insecurity, don't politicize NBS report. Article warns federal government. Probe begins on theft of Anambra virtually impaired woman's ATM card. About a funfair tragedy, Tinubu orders probe as Oni's ex-queen detained death rise. That's a tragic one there, one must say. Other headlines from the Punch newspaper is saying that opposition tags Tinubu 47.9 trillion naira budget unrealistic. Ignore distractions. Obong of Calabar tells Fubara. Those are some of the headlines in the Punch newspaper this morning. And the Daily Post, a couple of other stories are reported there. Nigerian policeman protecting your mom in Lagos. Fani Kaide knocks Badenoch. Oshun LG poll. OSEC to recruit 8,000 ad hoc staff. Tinubu government achieved 80% success against kidnapping. That's coming from the NSA. Then Yobe government begins payment of 70,000 naira minimum wage. Zamfara governor Lawal signs 2025 budget of 545 billion naira. Justice sector has achieved milestone. That's coming from the AGF, Fagbemi. Then my heart is heavy. Atiku mourns Ibadan stampede victim. NIMET predict a 3-day dust haze from Friday. These are some of the headlines in the Daily Post newspaper this morning. And going through to the Nation newspaper, a couple of headlines are reported there, which are saying that polygamy ignorantly painted negative, says a scholar. Global Inaction Aid Israel genocide in Gaza. That's on the foreign scene. Police arrest 3 suspects for motorcycle theft in Bochi. Firm unveils plan to buy back land from defaulters. Then commuter proceedings begin in chieftaincy case. Eco Drive caress pro revs up excitement. And you see a couple of stories reported in the Nation newspaper this morning, and through the Vanguard newspaper, petrol pump price remains 1,025 naira per litre despite Dangote refinery slash. And Yoruba elders lament rising cases of ritual killings in Southwest. And then suspension of 18 Edo LGA chairman illegal, unconstitutional. That's from the Attorney General of the Federation. 2025 budget, federal government, 22 states allocate 6.13 trillion naira to education. And then now fund condones Borno government university over death of students. These headlines, I will be bringing you details in a moment. Please stay with us, everyone.
Is here with us again. Oh yes, Adamimogo 107.7 FM Ido-Ekiti is using this medium to inform and invite children, parents, heads of nursery, primary and secondary schools, churches and individuals wishing to sponsor children and be a part of our 2024 Father Christmas show beginning from 2nd to 24th December 2024. Come and let's revel in the season of love and giving. It promises to be fun-filled. Our Father Christmas will arrive from Rome and be seated at his grotto in our station to receive children, dance and play with them. There are lots of take-home goodies and gifts from Father Christmas, as well as toys and play gadgets to make children's visit interesting, long-lasting, and memorable. For further inquiries, please contact Desmond Olawuyi on 0806 511 4430 or Bayo Babalola on 0803 562 5812. Adamimogo 107.7 FM Ido-Ekiti 2024 Father Christmas show promises to be exciting.
The details are saying that Ekiti State Governor Mr. Abiodun Yebanji has expressed excitement over the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority approval of the Ekiti Agro-Allied International Cargo Airport. The governor disclosed that following the NCAA's approval, the Ekiti Airport will from January be open to landing by private jets. Governor spoke on Wednesday when he paid a thank you visit to elder statesman and founder of Afe Babalola University, Ado Ekiti Chief Afe Babalola SAN, for his vital support during the construction of the Ekiti Agro-Allied International Cargo Airport. Oyebanji, who informed Babalola that the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority had granted clearance for the airport to begin non-scheduled flight operations from December 13, 2024 to June 15, 2025, also requested further assistance from the elder statesman to secure full commercial flight operation status for the airport. The governor delivered a letter of appreciation to Babalola on December 18, 2024, personally during a visit to Afe Babalola University on Wednesday. Speaking during the visit, Oyebanji shared the positive news. He said a lot of things. See details from the Punch newspaper this morning. Ekiti Airport opened for private jet landing January. Of vulnerable Nigerians as part of efforts to alleviate the economic hardship caused by the removal of petrol subsidy. The lawmakers had on July 18th resolved to slash their salary by 50% for 6 months and give to poor Nigerians as part of efforts to address the economic hardship rising from the removal of fuel subsidy by the federal government. Addressing his colleagues during Thursday's plenary, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, announced that the lawmakers had fulfilled the 50% salary cut pledge and had pulled together 704.9 million to be donated to poor Nigerians. It says, and I quote, "If you recall, about 5 months ago, we decided to contribute half of our salaries to address the critical needs of the Nigerian people. I'm happy to inform you that so far we have contributed 704,907,578.82 naira." That's the developments there from the Punch newspaper, coupled with some other newspapers this morning. 50% salary cut, Rebs to return 704 million naira to Tinubu. Opposition tags Tinubu's 47.9 trillion naira budget unrealistic. The coalition of united political parties, the People's Democratic Party and the New Nigeria People's Party, have criticized President Bola Tinubu's proposed 2025 budget of 47.9 trillion naira, expressing doubt about its feasibility and potential to address Nigeria's economic challenges. President Tinubu presented the budget to a joint session of the National Assembly on Wednesday, emphasizing its focus on economic recovery and development. However, opposition parties have flagged various concerns. The CUPP National Secretary Peter Ame highlighted instances of budget duplication and mismanagement, claiming that previous APC-led budget had not translated into meaningful development. Every year, the budget increases, but so does poverty. Resources are being mismanaged, roads are deteriorating, and government expenses are skyrocketing without proper review and effective implementation. This budget will yield little to no development. End of quote. That's Ahmed speaking there. He also questioned the impact of various previous budgets, citing unfulfilled promises and increasing hardship for Nigerians, among other things. See details in the Punch newspaper this morning. Opposition tags Tinubu's 47.9 trillion naira budget unrealistic. Meanwhile, the Daily Post newspaper, this is saying that Tinubu government achieved 80% success against kidnapping. NSA Ribadu, the National Security Advisor, NSA Malam Nuhu Ribadu, has said President Bola Tinubu's administration achieved 80% success against kidnapping in 2 years. Ribadu's remark comes amid a report by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) that Nigerians paid a ransom of over 2.2 trillion naira in the year 2024. The report said 2.2 million Nigerians were kidnapped, while 614,937 were killed in 2024. However, the NSA admitted that kidnapping was the most worrisome threat in Nigeria, He spoke in Abuja at the official inauguration of Multi-Agency Kidnap Fusion Cell, MACF, or MACFC, on Thursday. According to Ribadu, it says, and I quote, "Within a short period of time, I can say less than 2 years, we are getting 80% success, but we do not talk about it. As we all know, kidnapping remains one of the most pressing security threats in Nigeria today. It has caused untold hardship for countless families, disrupted economic activities, and posed a severe threat to our national stability. This menace demands a robust multi-agency approach, which the multi-agency anti-kidnap fusion cell embodies." End of quote. Those were his words there. See details in the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Tinubu government achieved 80% success against kidnapping, NSA Ribadu says. In the same vein, justice sector has achieved milestone. Fagbemi says, still in the Daily Post newspaper, the Attorney General of the Federal Accountability in the Administration of Justice in Nigeria. Fagbemi stated this on Thursday in Abuja during a public session organized by the ministry to update citizens and the media on the strides recorded by the ministry. According to him, the engagement also serves as a mechanism to receive feedback from all stakeholders for future improvement. He reminded stakeholders that the day's engagement offered a unique opportunity for open dialogue, which will enable all to identify gaps, propose solutions, and prioritize actions for the next phase of justice sector reforms. This were his words. The justice sector has made remarkable progress in recent years, driven by the dedication and hard work of the department and unit of the ministry, partners, and stakeholders. End of quote. He further said some other things. It reported in the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Justice sector has achieved milestone coming from the AGF, the Attorney General of the Federation, and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi. 27% of 66.111 trillion proposal. Enugu, Kano, Jigawa, Kano meets UNESCO's Nigeria's 26% benchmark. Sokoto, Abia, Nasarawa, and Oyo meets the World Bank's 20% minimum recommendation. Now the details are saying that the federal government and 22 states of the 36 states of the country have allocated 6.131 trillion naira of their 2025 budget to education. The figure amounts to a 9.27% of the 66.111 trillion naira they plan to spend next year, and it is far below the recommendation or the recommended benchmark of Nigeria, the World Bank, and the United Nations Education, Scientist, and Culture Organization, UNESCO. UNESCO recommends that national and subnational governments should devote 26% of their budgets to education. The World Bank recommends 20 to 30%, while Nigeria's national policy on education provides that no less than 26% of the federal and state government's budget should be allocated to education. Currently, 33 of the 36 states have announced their budget. Imo, Kwara, Rivers are yet to present their 2025 appropriation proposal. Of the 33 states, only 22 announced what they would spend on education, going by information on their website and what the governors read at their houses of assembly. You can see details of that. It's quite detailed. Among the 22, we have Enugu, Kano, Jigawa, Kaduna, which all of those states met UNESCO's and Nigeria 26% benchmark. The ones who met the World Bank's benchmark, Abia, Nasarawa, Oyo, Sokoto, and among others. See details in the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Again, 2025 budget. Federal government, 22 states allocate 6.1 trillion naira to education. Still in the Vanguard newspaper, petrol pump price remains 1,025 naira per litre despite Dangote refinery slash. The minimum pump price of petrol has not responded to the latest Dangote Petroleum Refinery export price slash of premium motor spirit PMS, also known as petrol, to 899.50% per litre from 970 per litre. Most petrol stations in Lagos have retained the old price range of 1,025 minimum in Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL), while some major oil marketers sell at 1,070 naira and independent marketers sell at 1,100 naira. According to the refinery, the slash in price was expected to provide much needed relief for Nigerians ahead of the holiday season. Meanwhile, commenting on the pricing issue, the national president of the Oil and Gas Service Provider Association of Nigeria, OGSPAN, Maxi Coleman Obasi, said, and I quote, Dangote Petroleum Refinery has done well to reduce the ex-depot price of petrol. The marketers should reciprocate by ensuring that consumer benefit from it. See details in the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Petrol pump price remains 1,025 naira per litre despite Dangote refinery slash. And now in the Punch newspaper, about the funfair tragedy, Tinubu orders probe as Oni's ex-queen detained, death rise. Comes to the Tinubu Oni orders mourn. The Oyo State Police Command on Thursday detained a former queen of Oni of Ife, prophetess Naomi, and 6 others as investigations into the stampede at a funfair in Ibadan on Wednesday continues. The police also confirmed 35 deaths, with 6 others sustaining varying degrees of injuries following the pandemonium. A non-governmental organization, Women in Need of Guidance and Support, founded by Naomi, had organized the funfair at the Islamic High School, Bashorin, Ibadan, on Wednesday, but the event, however, turned tragic as a crowd thronged the venue, resulting in the stampede that led to the death. It was learned from multiple eyewitness accounts that several participants were trampled upon as they rushed to gain access to the venue of the event, reportedly organized by the Queen and the Ibadan-based broadcaster Oriyomi Hamzat. It was further gathered that while the organizers made provisions for 5,000 children, over 7,500 participants turned up for the event. The State Police Public Relations Officer Adewale Oshifeso, in a statement, said among those detained are the Queen, aged 31, Fasasi Abdullahi, the 56-year-old principal of the school. The other individuals arrested include Genesis Christopher, Tanimowo Moruf, Ani Sholaja Olabade, Idowu Ibrahim, and Abiola Oluwatimileyin, with ages ranging from 25 to 52 years. The stampede resulted in the tragic loss of 35 minors, with 6 additional children reported to be in critical condition and receiving various medical interventions. So far, 35 minors have been documented dead, while 6 others are critically injured. That's the development. It's quite a tragic one. Then there have been reactions coming back and forth from this development. Then there have been mournings also from quite a lot of people. Then from the President Bola Tinubu on Thursday expressed sadness over the tragic incident in Ibadan and directed relevant authorities to investigate the circumstances of the tragedy thoroughly. This would involve a comprehensive review of all public events safety measures, strict enforcement of safety regulations, and regular safety audit of events venues, the president said in a statement signed by Special Advisor on Media and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga. Also, the Oni of Ife, the Palace of the Oni of Ife, Obade Yogunsi, also sympathized with the Oyo State government and the organizers of the Children's Party over the loss of the lives. Quite a lot of reactions there. Also, in the Punch newspaper, that story is from the Punch newspaper this morning. Also in the Punch newspaper, the insecurity, don't politicize MBS report, Article 1. Okay, there is a reaction coming from the presidential candidate, former presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party. That was what I wanted to read out earlier, where it says his heart is heavy, but it's also detailed in the Punch newspaper. Grab a couple of the Punch newspaper to see the development. It's such a tragic one, and our heart lays with those who have lost their life. Moving forward, taking stories from The Punch newspaper this morning again. Insecurity, don't politicize NBS report. Atiku warns federal government. The 2023 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has warned that politicizing data from the National Bureau of Statistics would be counterproductive. In a statement signed by his media office on Thursday, the former vice president emphasized the importance of accuracy in data and statistics for development purposes. See details in the Punch newspaper. Let's see if we can get one or two calls from listeners at home before we call it a day on the program this morning. 070-4700-7701 or 070-72766278. Those are the lines to call to be part of the conversation this morning. In the Daily Post newspaper, this is saying that Osun local government polls OCAC to recruit 8,000 ad hoc staff. The Osun State Independent Electoral Commission, OCAC, has disclosed plans to recruit over 8,000 ad hoc staff ahead of local government elections slated for 22nd February 2025. The move is part of the Commission's effort to ensure seamless electoral operations across the state. OCAC Chairman Hashim Abioye spoke on Thursday in Oshogbo during a visit by members of the Osun State House of Assembly Committee on Local Government, led by its chairman, Olujimi Asegade. That's the detail. See the details rather from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. And we have to go now. That's how much we can take on the daily dose for today, the 20th day in the month of December 2024. All right, we have this quick call. Let's pick it. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, go ahead. Your name and where you calling us from? Please go ahead. You have 30 seconds.
I sympathize with that the death of those people at Oyo State.
All right.
I sympathize with the family of the people. It was a sad news, very sad. I sympathize with them.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you a lot for your contribution there. We really appreciate, like I said, that's how much we can take on the program this morning. It returns again on Monday next week. My name is